welcome back to Draft's First Call, and today we are going to be talking about the dreaded Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns finished their season with a 3-14 record, and much like we mentioned in other videos, they have the second overall pick in the NFL draft. That 3-14 record placed them fourth in the AFC North, which is dead last of their division, and also tied for the worst record in the league. Offensively, it did not help them in this case. They scored only 258 points over the season, averaging 15.2 points per game, which ranked dead last in the NFL. One of the key things that didn't help with that is quarterback Deshaun Watson. He was their starter, and yeah, he wasn't good, but he was basically the best they had. Anyways, he suffered a torn Achilles in that Week 7 game, and that led to instability at the quarterback position. They kept switching from backup to backup. We'll talk about who later. But another thing is running back Nick Chubb. He did return in Week 7 after a major knee injury, but overall couldn't get back to his old play style. He was very timid, I feel like. Didn't really have that speed. He had a little bit of power, but he couldn't break away from anything. Defensively, they didn't get help. They allowed 435 points and averaged 25.6 points per game allowed, which ranked 27th in the league. So offensively and defensively, bottom tier. That's not good winning formula. They struggled against the run and they allowed 129.7 rushing yards per game. Going deeper into what went wrong is I mentioned that quarterback instability. The team cycled through quarterbacks like Jameis Winston, Dorian Thompson Robinson, and others, which led to inconsistent play. They could never really get rhythm. Offensive line didn't help them either. The line allowed 66 sacks, which we should know that contributes to quarterbacks not playing well. If your quarterback's going to get hit, he's going to be scared to sit in the pocket. He's going to be scared to throw, really, because he's going to be like, oh, there's going to be a guy in my face. Some bright spots. Wide receiver Jerry Jeudy, he came from the Broncos. He was a standout, and I feel like out of all the bad that went wrong in the year, Jerry Jeudy was by far like the top two players. He recorded 1,229 receiving yards, and that showcased his ability to be a primary target in the passing game, and that's something Jerry Jeudy wanted. So they were like, okay, well, go to the Browns, and he shined. He had over 1,000 yards, like we mentioned. Defensively, the bright spot is none other than Myles Garrett. This is very obvious. This guy's always going to be your bright spot. I feel like he's their star. They need to kind of lean on him. He continued his dominance, earning performances like 3 sacks and a forced fumble against the Steelers. He did finish the season with 14 sacks and led the NFL in tackles for loss with 22. Myles Garrett is always going to be your guy. Had a little bit of contract talk and it probably didn't go as well to start, but Browns got their guy back. They signed him. Some offseason moves and signings that we want to talk about, as well as departures. Quarterbacks, they traded for Kenny Pickett via trade and re signed veteran Joe Flacco to a 1 year deal, providing depth and competition at the quarterback position. We will talk about the draft and what I think they can do later. That'll add to that. Offensive line, they signed guard Tevin Jenkins and tackle Cornelius Lucas to bolster the offensive line. Defensively, they added Jerome Baker, that's a linebacker, defensive tackle Malik Collins, and edge rusher Joe Trion Shoyinka. Some notable departures. They lost Jameis Winston to the New York Giants, a team that also acquired Russell Wilson. They also traded Dorian Thompson Robinson to the Philadelphia Eagles. They also released safety Juan Thornhill, former Chief, after 2 seasons with the team. The Browns' greatest strength for this draft, they have 10 picks, including that second pick. And their top needs are quarterback, wide receiver, and I would say running back, because outside of Jerome Ford, you don't really have anybody, and I feel like you could get a top guy. Potential targets for quarterback, I could see Shador Sanders. I would say Cam Moore, but I don't think he'll be there after that first pick. I really think he's going to go to the Titans. But I would see the Browns also being hesitant to pick a guy like Shador at pick 2 because they've picked guys high in the past. Has not worked out for them. I mean, you got Baker. He did good for them, but they just gave up on him. You also got, Johnny Manziel. For edge rusher, we mentioned this in yesterday's video. I really see Abdul Carter. He could bolster that pass rush alongside Myles Garrett. That gives you kind of a scary threat on the edge on both sides. And then Travis Hunter, wide receiver slash corner. This is a no brainer. Like we said, 2 and 3, picks 2 and 3, interchangeable. Abdul Carter goes 2, Travis goes 3. Travis goes 2, Abdul Carter goes 3. Some day 2 and 3 targets. If Matthew Golden falls, I feel like the Browns could pick him. That's if Matthew Golden falls. Matthew Golden, he's risen his stock, and I feel like he could be picked in the first round. For running back, I feel like they could go either or on the Ohio prospects. So Quinshon Judkins and Travion Henderson. Like I said, both from Ohio, and I feel like both of them are really good backs. It can help the Cleveland Browns. For safety, I like Rayon Lane the third. The safety from Navy is a potential third day pick, which is very late, but very known for his instincts and versatility. Watching film on this guy will come down and make plays. He's a safety. You could also shift him into a slot guy. The Browns have significant draft capital, and that is what I said. That's key to them. They also made strategic offseason moves and wanted to address key areas, which I feel like they did that for the most part. So, who do you think the Browns should pick at number 2? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more draft coverage. Thank you, and bye bye.